What what is up, everybody? This is your boy, the good one. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is right now. Man, let me tell y'all something. Let me unmute Ryan here. So here's the deal. And if anybody can't hear me, you have my phone number. Text me to let me know. Brian can hear me, but I want to make sure all of y'all can hear me. So before we get into the fantasy football thing, here's what happened. I'm coming back to StreamYard for the first time in about years, probably since I left the studio up north.
Yeah, about a couple of years. Yeah,
couple of years. So I had a new software I was working on, and now that some shows are coming back, and I'm helping them, with their setup and just helping out. Thanks, Brandon. We good. I decided to go back to StreamYard because that's the most thing that everybody's familiar with is StreamYard. Right. And I just don't have the patience or the time to teach everybody a whole new software. And I'm pretty sure people don't feel like learning a whole new software when they're used to this one. So I say, okay, let me go back to StreamYard. I get back to StreamYard last week looking, I'm like, oh shit, they've added a whole lot of stuff. It almost looks like the software that I've been using for a while. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a breeze. Then I'm gonna start setting up around 440. This will be good. I set up around 440 with the same camera I use for all my other shows, which is not the camera you're watching now, by the way. And I hook up my sound system and all of that, and lo and behold, guess what happens? just guess what happens. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing works. Camera didn't come on. I'm searching all my connections. Nothing works. So what do? I go back and I get the old handy webcam, which is what I'm using now. Okay. The same webcam I used back up north when I was doing the shows up there on StreamYard. This webcam is probably older than this webcam is probably 5 years old. Okay. Which is why it looks so grainy and everything right now. So Brian's finally on. Microphone don't work. He can't hear me. All of my shit is connected correctly, mind you. Everything is connected the way it should be. He can't hear me. And I'm seeing levels on the mixer. I'm like, okay, this either ain't working or something wrong with him and his side. No. It was once again me. I unplug it, plug it into another outlet on my Mac, and now it's working. Man, let me tell you something. I get on. I what did I do? So I'm looking at StreamYard. Everything is good. So the webcam, I can't zoom in. I can't crop it. I can't do none of that shit. So instead of cropping it, I saw a feature that StreamYard has, thankfully, where you can just turn your shit into circles. That's about as close as the cropping that I'm going to get today. So now we're here. I just want to give you a little background. Woosah, man. Oh yeah, I'm about to woosah with this drink right here. That's my woosah. But welcome everybody to the Control-Alt+Defeat fantasy football show. We talking all fantasy football today. So if y'all want to hear wrestling, or if you want to hear anything else, go soon. We're not talking about that. It's all football. So we have, first of all, introduction to our league. There are 10 teams. We play for money, but we are our league is on the Kmart side. So we only charging $25 for entry. Now there's a league. Shout out to my man Fodder. Fodder knows best from Show Off Radio. You know what his entry is?
Probably 100.
200.
Oh damn. That's big leagues.
200. Hey, look, the man entry is so high, he putting us on a payment plan. You know what I mean? He's giving us to week 7 to week 11 to pay it off.
Oh, week
You know,
11. Oh,
week
7
11.
I can understand, but week 11, that's
He-
generous.
you gotta put that league on layaway. His league's on layaway. Okay, that's how much his league is. But anyway, ours is $25. We had 5 people pay. So for the rest, please pay the 25 before the draft next Saturday. Please pay it by then. And what I'm doing is we're going in order. The draft is in order of payment. So who you see Pastor Green Thumb has the first draft pick because he paid first. And I think that's a fair thing to do.
Yeah,
So
shoot. Worse than the lottery, but we'll take it.
Hey, it's a fair thing to do. So now for the rest of y'all may go into a lottery for the last 5 picks who come in. But next Sunday, the draft is at 6 p.m. I don't know if we're going to stream it live. I don't know. We may do highlights. I don't know yet. So let me see. Now this is StreamYard, y'all. So let's see. Well, wait a minute. What did I do?
Right.
Wait a minute.
Back to squares, back to circles. Sorry.
Boy, I'm trying to tell you, man. This like stream. I gotta give y'all some advice, stream y'all. Okay.
It's supposed to be user friendly.
Man, this user friendly my ass. Let me see something. Now I had everything set for that, and okay, there we go. Okay. So let's see something. Give me a second, y'all, because I was trying to put the fantasy thing on there, but the shit ain't work. So let me just talk. There are 10 teams in the league. My team is the VZ Dominators. That's the name I went. Is that the name I'm going with now?
I guess I haven't been on it.
Let me tell you something, man. For those who do producing and technical shit, one little technical hiccup can throw you off for your whole show. And that's how I am. So let me
Understandable.
Let me check the name. I forget the name of my own team. That's okay. So yes, VZ Dominators. I've used that team name for the longest time. That is the name of my team. Your league, yeah, and we have 2 divisions. We have the Beatdown division. We have the Smackdown division. Ryan, what's the name of your team?
I have to look it up again.
See, just like me. No, that's Godzilla 11.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't been on it since I logged on. So doesn't ever wait. Hold on. How do you send it to me? Oh, I know how you send it to me. Wrong device. I have too many devices. so like grandparents, they have too many glasses to look at things. I have too many devices to look up things. So.
Man, look, I had big hopes for StreamYard, and they just,
it's not StreamYard. I think again, you haven't been on it. Again, haven't been on in a while, so it's just understandable. So take some time.
When we do this show from now, we're going to do it on something else. It's nothing hard for you or anything, but we'll do it in something else. But while he's on, we have 2 divisions, okay? Beatdown, Smackdown, 5 teams in each division. Our leagues, I try to make our rules a little different, but still traditional. So here's how scoring is going to work. The quarterback gets 1 point for every 20 yards. Passing touchdown, 6 points. Now, in some leagues, the quarterback gets 1 point for every 25 yards. But I think we're going to do every 20 yards, he gets 1 point. 2-point conversion, obviously, 2 points. Interception, that's -1. Pick 6 is -6, which is something. Rushing yards, 1 point for every 10 yards, 6 points for rushing TD. All traditional. This is a PPR league, so each catch is a point. Then an additional point for every 10 yards. On everything is pretty much the same. You miss a field goal, it's -1 point. You miss a PAT, is -1 point. Here's how we're going to differ in this league. If you get a 3 and out, you get a point. You get fourth down stop, you get a point. Whereas normally that's you get nothing for that.
Okay.
Everything else is traditional. It's pretty much traditional. 2 point conversion returns 2 points. So again, you're going to get 1 point for 3 and out, 1 point for a fourth down stop. Um, I was thinking about doing 2 points for 3 and out, and then 1 point for a fourth down and stop, but we'll keep it like this. As far as the other rules, the rosters are pretty much traditional. 6 teams are going to make the playoffs starting week 15. Waivers on Wednesday. You get waiver time is 1 day. The week 11 is the trade deadline. You get 2 injured reserve slots. You can trade a draft pick if you want. During the draft, you can trade.
That's
Um,
cool.
and you get 2 player auto subs. Now, what that is that it will allow for substitute players for starters. For instance, if a starter is inactive for their game, the designated substitute will automatically be placed in the starting lineup. Let's say you forget your quarterback that day. You forget to put your quarterback and he's on a bye. If you have a backup, he'll automatically be inserted in there in case you forget to do that. But you're only going to get 2 of those slots. So don't think you can just ignore your team and the computer's just going to replace everything for you. That's not going to happen. So that's pretty much how the league is. Trash talking is encouraged. Please talk trash, because I'm going to talk trash. Like, I can tell you right now, whoever I face in week 1 is going to lose. I'm just saying.
Is the now are the schedules set
They will be after the draft.
after the draft? Okay.
So this time next week, the draft again is next Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. You're going to get 60 seconds per pick. So it ain't gonna be no 2 minutes per pick, and or not even 90 seconds. You get 60 seconds, 1 minute to pick. If you don't pick, the computer will pick for you. I think that just speeds up the draft, because I've been in fantasy football leagues where the draft was literally hours. I'm talking about 2-3 hours. Yes.
Isn't
No
there like if someone is unable to participate in the live draft, are they able to automatic? Is it automatic after
Auto pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But here's the thing. I mean, you can do that, but nobody likes auto pick, auto draft. You get made fun of the rest of the year. God forbid you go to the Super Bowl after you didn't draft anybody.
Right.
But you can do that. Yes. That is allowed.
Yeah. Because people got to work and people got other things going on.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Just know you will be made fun of, especially if your team is good. We sit here and sweat through the draft and you can't make it. But people have to work, like you said. People have families, things to do. I get it. But nevertheless, you will be made fun of. Again, so we have 4 payments left. So for those of you who haven't paid, please get your payment in before this Sunday's draft, next Sunday's draft. The way to pay, you can pay through Zelle, or you can pay through Apple Pay if you know my number, or you can do Cash App. I really don't like Cash App, but if you have to, you can do it that way. I'm trying to think. Any other questions, or if anybody's watching, anything you all want to say, or if you're watching later, you can see this. But any questions about the league? The payment is going to work like this. The winner of the league will get $175. Second place will get 50, and the last place team is basically just going to get their money back. Or the third place team is going to get their money back, $25. Have you won any championships before in fantasy football?
Yeah. When was it? Like 3 years ago? No, 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I won. Actually, I won. I was a 4th place team. The league was like a 10 league team, and the playoffs were, of course, the last 2 weeks of the regular season, and you had to be the top 4 teams to get in. and surprisingly enough, I barely got into the playoffs, and I was you consider me like a wild card,
Mm-hmm.
and I the first week that first week of the playoff, if I remember correctly, I barely won. It was like within like 10 points or less. Um, but then the following week, I lucked out because I think the other team had a lot of their top players, benched because
Mm-hmm.
they already won their divisions or what have you, and I kind of lucked out on that, and I won, wholeheartedly, and so I was able to win that title. So I was happy to win that title. So
Well, I've I won, I think, 4 fantasy footballs. Um,
oh,
the first fantasy football player or team I ever, the first fantasy football league I ever played, I won.
hmm.
Then the next year, I won again. So I repeated, and then the 2 years after that, I was in last place, and then the next 2 years, I won two back to back again.
uh,
So in the first year, I won with the team named VZ Dominators. I was just making up something with the initials of my last job and then Dominators on top of it. Just made it up. I said, this is a good luck name. So I stuck with that at every fantasy football team.
hmm.
This year we may do something. We may do a on top of the payment. We may do a ring, or we may do a trophy or something. We'll do something. It won't just be payment, but we'll do some type of something for the winner. Um, we have the toilet bowl tournament too. So at the end of the year, the worst teams compete in their own tournament to avoid being last place.
Mhm.
The toilet bowl team. So that's something else that we have here. Once you whatever you put in the chat immediately gets notified. Father told me about this app, Sleeper. I had no idea. I was looking. I wanted to do fantasy football. At first, I was thinking about doing it on ESPN, and he told me about this app, and it's beautiful and it's easy and it's catches you up on everything. You can even bet on here, so you can do a little bit of everything on here. Um, who's hat? Who's a hot
Uh,
draft pick? You think
uh,
who's going to be the best fantasy football player this year? You think in terms of the real life players?
Honestly, it'll be Lamar.
You think?
I mean, everybody will look at him, and he's a passer, he's a runner. It's him. I mean, he'll be um, that number one dude. I think the second closest would be probably Mahomes, of course, because of you know his his legacy of winning Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I don't honestly, to me, I don't draft that way. I don't, because I know full well it's like if you're trying to get any top tier quarterbacks. I've been doing fantasy football for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I never get to top tier quarterbacks. And the key thing is the fact of is where you're drafted. What's your draft position? And honestly, it's like you know if you get the number one pick, yeah, you can pick whoever is your number one, whoever is the
Yeah.
main number one dude, and it's just like, okay, go after him. Fine, I'll find ways, to try to defeat that because I never had the number one pick, and to be honest with you, having a number one pick it does not guarantee you a win because
Mm-hmm.
if you do, depending on how based off of I think what this draft it's if it's a snake, meaning you go down and go up. Um,
Yes, it is Snake.
yeah, so pretty much you having the number one pick, yeah, okay, you have the best whatever, but in the end, this is like how you salvage that. In the end, um, how you built your team and stuff. Really, you got to be really smart about it because you relied on that. If you were just relied on getting that number one dude, okay, fine, go have it. But really, you got to build from there from that point on, and especially with a quarterback. Quarterback is to me, is not the number one sports person, the scoring person. Not to me. I think it's a running back and receivers, and
Oh,
depends on who's. Hmm?
yeah, I think a receiver. It's a PPR league. Like a
Yeah,
running back. A running back doesn't get receptions. Like a running back doesn't get points per handoff. You know what I'm saying?
right.
A receiver gets points per every ball he
Fair
catches.
catch. Yeah.
You know. Now, if the running back got a point for every time he got the ball handed to him, that'd be a different story.
Mm.
But I do think the first position, most important position, is wide receiver, and then I think running back, and I think a sleeper. And I may be giving some stuff away. I don't care. A sleeper in this particular fantasy football year league is going to be Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, I said that.
Oh,
I said a
wait.
sleeper. I didn't say
Okay.
one. I said a sleeper.
Okay.
Now, if I
I
had to
don't.
draft between Bijan Robinson and my boy in Baltimore, Derrick Henry, of course I'm picking Derrick Henry. But Bijan
Right.
Robinson is a sleeper this year, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, a quarterback. Um, starters always get injured.
Of
So
course. Well, not also, not a lot of stars, but those notable
a
ones,
lot of them, you know.
especially those in Texas.
Yeah, especially especially number 4 in Texas with a yeah. But
Yeah.
like you said, the quarterback. I remember back in fantasy drafts, the quarterback was the most important position to get on your team. Now it's you get people who don't draft the quarterback to like the 3rd round.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. I mean, honestly, you can. All you need is a decent. Like last year, I did a draft, and I got Love in like fourth round or somewhere, third or fourth
Mhm.
round, because really it was like because he's a decent quarterback. So as long as you get a decent quarterback to, to do what he needs to do as a quarterback, you'll be fine. I mean, if you want something like eccentric, yeah, you get your Lamar, get your Jaden Daniels because he'll probably do some things. Cam Ward will probably do something because he's a scrambler now. Um, I mean, really, it depends on what type of quarterback you know you'll get. But again, you got to get the real meat. You need a top tier receiver, a top tier running back, because honestly, if you don't get those, you're screwed. Because all you're getting, and especially like I said like before, in a snake league, you will get screwed missing out on a lot of good players. If your main focus is trying to get a top tier one, you gotta look into those secondary ones. And there's nothing wrong with getting a Knicks or Cam Ward because he's a rookie, or um,
Go
I wouldn't say
Knicks.
Richardson because he's one of those guys that gets hurt a lot. But you gotta look at the so-called the mid-tier quarterbacks. There's nothing wrong with getting it. They'll give you points. Won't be a lot of crazy points that you're hoping for, but again, when it comes to not just regular football, but in fantasy football, who knows what kind of week they'll have? It changes every week to week.
What
So
about how would you rate Geno Smith this year?
I wish he stayed in Seattle.
Why you think he's going to do worse?
Oh God, I don't see. I really don't see how he. I mean, he'll be okay. I mean, he'll be in someone's roster, probably mine if I'm lucky. Um, I mean, he's an okay quarterback. I mean, I had him before, like yeah, I had him last year. He was good in Seattle. I felt he was okay with Seattle because I think his receiving core was decent. The Raiders' receiving core, I don't know, because it's all new, and even though he's familiar with Pat Carroll and all that stuff, but really it's kind of like this is a new situation for him, so he'll probably do okay. But I'm not seeing something where he'll have spectacular numbers here and there.
Mm, okay. Well, let's look at the
So
The draft position so far.
Well, here's the thing. I did find myself. I am Godzilla 11, in the SmackDown division, so that's where I'm at.
Well, we got the number so far, one through six. We have all the smoke. That's Patrick Green thumb with the number 1 pick. The number 2 pick, we have Agave Assassin, boy Chris, who's down here in Orlando.
Okay.
The number 3 pick we have is Be Wise. The Smooth Casanovas is his name of his team. And I hope they lose just because of that name. Who want to play a football team called the Casanovas? We that ass. Yeah, we going with that ass. The Smooth Casanovas. The number 4 pick is where we at? Team Tequila Shots. I'm not sure who that is, but they're at number 4. The 5th pick is me, and then 6 is Brian, and the last 4 are to be determined.
Okay.
So again, we're doing in order of the payment because we want people who want to be in the league. And either way, you know what I'm saying? You could have got a worse pick. You could have got a better pick if we did it another way. But it's a snake draft. So the first and the last pretty are probably where you want to be. The first pick and the last pick, because you're going to get 2 picks in a row.
Yeah, the back-to-backs are fun. I kind of lucked out a couple of years ago doing the snake, and I was able to get Terrell Owens and
oh shit, how long ago was this?
This was definitely a long time.
About to say Terrell Owens.
Yeah. Who else did I got? It was a cool back-to-back, and everybody was like pissed at me for having them. And they helped me big time. I forgot who was the other, but they helped, those two together were helping me big time towards all the way up to the playoffs. But I ended up losing in the finals, but still that was a good run though.
Well, we Brandon.
Boo you.
Now boo you for naming your team the Casanovas. You know what I'm saying? And it's not boo you, it's boo to you. You have to send the boo to somebody. You can't just say boo you. You have to send the boo. So it's boo to you. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's just a boo that's just sitting out there and shit. Like boo. You know what I'm saying? You have to boo to somebody. Make them feel it. They boo to you. So but yeah, well, change your team name, and then we'll talk. Defense this year, and this is another thing, and I'm gonna shout out Fada again. Defense should matter in fantasy, so this is why we wanted to give points when a team stops the team on 3rd and 3 and out and 4th down. Particularly 3 and out, I might up that 3 and out to 2 points. 4th down is going to remain 4th and out. 4th down stop is 1 point, but if you can stop them before they even get to 4th down, that deserves more points.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I think it's not the offense are doing a little bit more, but the defense is doing a lot more because of what the offense is doing. Again, the 3 and outs, the 4 and outs, stopping on the goal lines and all that stuff. I mean, the defenses they have to adjust to what the offense is doing, and I think they deserve to be respected that way. And I think adding into 3 and out points and 4th down stoppages, I think that those things need to be again, not just in this league but in all other leagues, because you got to give more points for the defense to help, because a lot of people forget defense can really help us salvage whatever you're losing in during a game. I mean, not only with the sacks and the fumbles and the pick six, but whatever they're doing, they're doing a lot. Even though it's just that one set. And again, is this just defense or defense and special teams?
Just 3 and 3. I think. Well, let me see what we for special teams.
Because if it's just defense, I can understand. So, but special teams, of course, you have the kick returns and the punt returns and all that stuff. But those are
Oh,
real rarities.
for special teams, let me see. Where? Hold on there. I think let me see special teams. Special teams TD 6 points, a special teams
Okay.
forced fumble 1 point, and a special teams fumble recovery 1 point. Um, that's special teams defense, and then of course special teams player. So let's say your wide receiver also plays on special teams. So you would
Yeah.
get if he recovers a fumble, you get 2 points because he got one for himself recovering the fumble, and special teams defense got one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So we want to make every aspect of the game count. You know,
Right.
and normally defense is only like if you score a defensive touchdown or if you get a interception, and that's it for defensive points. Or if you hold them under a certain amount of yards, let's add some extra stuff in that.
Mm-hmm.
And a sack is 1 point. Points allowed. Oh, so it's you allow 35 plus points. That's -4. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're taking away at that point. But
Yeah.
I think it's. I think the way we're doing it is going to be fun. I haven't done it the scoring this way before, except for the regular tradition. And here's another thing. Um, for a 50 plus, and this is receiving, for a 50 plus yard TD reception, you get an additional 5 points.
All right. All right.
You know,
Respect.
so we may have some high scoring in this league. We're not doing that fraction shit like Yahoo. We're not doing
25,
88.97.
25
Right.
quarters.
I know we're not doing that. Now, here's the thing though. I didn't see a tiebreaker option on here, so I don't know how. I think we're gonna go. I can think it'll go to the bench automatically for tiebreakers. I think so. We'll see, but we'll deal with that. We ever get a tie, then we'll deal with that at that time. But I'm ready. Next Sunday. I don't know if we're gonna stream throughout the. I'll determine that throughout the week if we're gonna stream the draft, or if I'm gonna stream the draft. How we're gonna do that? I still have to figure out this damn new stream yard because I'll tell you something right now.
Loved it.
It's like I mean, come on now. It's a little. What's the word I'm looking for? They added a whole bunch of features, and I like it. No, don't get me wrong. But the shit is a little too. Is you missing some.
I think you just need to work with it, play with it. If you want to fully dive into it, but if you don't have the patience at the time, it's understandable. So,
well,
I would just, mind you, I work with Streamer. This is the first time I've ever seen this being happening. So, so I might feature that in upcoming shows we do on Beltway Radio. So we'll see.
Yeah, because I don't know how to. It's man. Well. Say that for another day. Yeah, let's save that for another day because it's a lot I want to bring up. And until we decide if we're going to do the draft live, I have to figure out how to put the fucking draft on screen. So we'll figure that out.
You should be able to share the screen.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Is it in the same? Again, if it's in the same browser tab, you should be able to see it.
So it has to be in the same browser.
Yeah,
that's not cool. I should be able to share anything. Like if because the sleeper app is an app on your phone, but it's also an app on your desktop. So I should be able to share.
But it's also a website too. So
yeah, but the website sucks balls. That's why that's why they give you the sleeper app.
Okay.
Well, let's see something. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, we may do the draft live. I have to see how it goes and everything, but we'll see next Sunday. I'll make a determination by Friday if we're going to stream the draft live or not. But we'll see. Other than that, man,
Well,
I think.
let
Mhm.
me ask you this: what? Because since you asked me, who do you think is, in your viewpoint, the number one? Who do you think Father will probably pick? Because you know how the NFL draft is like, oh, here's the number one pick. This is the number one pick. Who do you think Who do you think he'll pick number one?
You mean passing?
Yeah, passing. Who do you think he'll pick number one?
That's a good question. Hmm. Okay, you got to figure in a couple of things. You got to figure in his favorite team. His
Mm-hmm.
favorite team is the Raiders. Then you have to figure in who he likes, who players he likes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number one pick that Passer is probably going to do is probably going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's a Raider fan. He's in the AFC West. Who's
Mm-hmm.
been tormenting the Raiders for years? Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Why not pick Patrick Mahomes? Hmm. Now I could not argue with that pick if he did that.
No, what either.
You know. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do want to say that this is the last Sunday we'll go live unless we do the draft. After that, this show will switch to Tuesdays. Tuesday evenings. I'm talking about probably around 7.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give an update on what happened the past week in this league. We may talk about some other fantasy leagues, some fantasy stuff. And we'll also invite a team owner or owners onto the show to talk about or to have them on the show with who they're facing off with this coming week to talk trash to one another.
That would be interesting.
you know? So it'd be funny like if it's week 8 and it's 2 8-0 teams or 2 7-1 teams and they facing all have them talk trash and maybe have a wager out on the side for it. Or who knows? There's so much creative stuff we can do with this, and we will. So just stay tuned to that coming up. Brian, you want to shout out anything you're doing? Any shows you're producing? I know you're producing a hell of a lot of shows.
Yeah, personally, why? Well, I know that this past Saturday you had Chip Chat on, um, so
Well,
glad
this
to.
coming Saturday it'll be on.
Oh, this coming Saturday. I'm
It's
sorry,
30th.
this coming
Yes,
Saturday.
yes. It was gonna be
Oh,
the
sorry.
23rd, but we the StreamYard. Blame it on
Oh,
StreamYard.
I get you. All right, but you're gonna have Chip Chat on, which is great. And I also do fantasy sport, not fantasy. Why do I keep going back to fantasy sports? Because I do fantasy sports, but I used to do a show called Fantasy Sports and News and World Report a long time ago. But
Oh,
youth sports show is No Filter Sports, where you know Trump here it appeared on a few times. I hope to have him back on in the future for talk about because I still want to know what the deal is in the Orlando Tampa area with their new with the Rays and if they're going to have a stadium there or not. So that's a discussion for a later date. But all in all, yeah, and hopefully there'll be other shows coming on Delaware Radio and beyond. Hopefully the return of Real Talk Uncensored, and we still do Man in the Mirror. So yeah, I'm a busy dude.
I
So,
see, man. How's the
so
what's the word I'm looking for? How's the GW and all that stuff going?
the GW. Oh, yeah, I do college stuff too. So I just
Yes.
actually earlier today we had the men's soccer team of George Washington winning their home opener. I've worked on the Americans women's soccer. They've yet to win yet, but they have some promise. I think their main focus will be towards once they get into Patriot League conference play. And but then again, once we get further down into the season, there's of course, more soccer, men and women at American. There's field hockey with the American women. They are nationally ranked or been nationally ranked from time to time. So we'll see how this season will be. And of course, the women's volleyball team of American. Be working with them. I still also work with at Audi Field with the Spirit and DC United. The Spirit is looking like they're going to have another good playoff run.
Okay.
Thankfully, with the return of Trinity Rodman, um, and that's the key thing. I can see him getting a second star, but it's the Kansas City Current. They are a tough team to beat. So it's one thing with Orlando last year, but Kansas City is they're trying to do some things. So we'll see.
Hey, look, I went to a couple of Orlando Pride games. I didn't go. Is the season over?
No, they got another month left.
Shit, it's been so quiet. I haven't.
Well, because they had there's this, in soccer they have this. Usually the summer is when the season should be over. They do have a summer break, but since we're Americans and we're stupid, we start our season in March and it ends, of course, in like November or October or November. And usually during the summer months, it's supposed to be a break, to where again they do international games and things of that nature. So that's what kind of happened for the American League team, for all the American teams, and then they started it back up again. So it's there is rumor mill they'll try to switch it to have the fall start wrap around the spring ending. That's been in the talks for now about a good year and a half now. But it really depends on how again, the collective bargaining agreement and all that stuff, because they want to try to match it with all the other international soccer leagues, because it doesn't make sense to have everyone's on a break but us. And at the same time, we have to get back started again. And it's stupid. It's weird.
Gotcha. I feel you. Well,
but everyone's more interested in real football than soccer.
Yeah, well, yeah, the soccer can forget it right now. It's real football time, and I'm gonna catch some Orlando games before the end of the season. So,
trust me, folks. If you go to the National Women's Soccer League game, you're gonna have a lot of fun. It's very entertaining, very energetic, and very competitive. Everyone thinks it's just it's just women's soccer. No, it's very competitive. So you'll enjoy yourself. So
cool. All right, well, that's it for the first episode, y'all. A little chaotic because of the ending, and I mean the beginning, and it was crazy. But now that I got a handle on things, we'll be back either next Sunday, and if we're not back next Sunday, we'll be back the Tuesday before the first game of the season. All right. So for Brian, I'm your boy, the good one, the good Trump, Tory, whatever you want to call me. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. See the camera's all the way over there. You know what I'm saying?